What? What? Is she getting in over there? Oh boy, you safe in here?
Give kisses. Kitty kisses.
All right, Papa, show us the proper way to eat a shrimp.
Sorry.
All done.
You'll have to find one.
Proper way to eat a shrimp. Now, Grandma's got a good way too. She bites hers.
Grandpa's after you eat two to show you.
But, no, I'll only show you with one. You see, you grab it by the tail.
Wait, you gotta wait for the pan. All right, all right.
Oh. You grab it by the tail, the shrimp.
Get your hand off my tail.
And you just squeeze it like that. But I like to squeeze it with my mouth. Okay? And it just pulls right out. So you get the whole shrimp. And then lick your fingers.
And that's the proper way to
She has
eat a
festive party
shrimp.
mix.
No, it isn't. 'Cause I have another way. That's my way.
That's my talent. Now Grandma's got another way, but she bites hers.
I bite mine.
All right, let's see Grandma's way.
Well.
No!
Shrimp.
Okay, I'll give you one.
You still got half of one in there.
You don't want a whole thing of them. You don't want them? Indian give her? Or you want mash? She gave them to She gave them to you. She does. She's not a shrimp.
You don't like a shrimp?
First of all, you have to lick the sauce off the shell.
You? Who gave it?
So you can grab it.
Oh, good to know.
Can I give that back?
That I put too much sauce on top.
I said that.
Hey, Ben, pass me.
Yeah.
Oh, I can give these to
Oh.
Lucy.
Oh. You have to bite it.
Oh, yeah.
Take
I gotta
one.
make sure it's all good.
Pops right up.
I have a fork too.
And then you can try it again.
Uh-oh.
I have to lick the thing.
We went to Red Lobster the
What do
other
you
day.
think if you and ate nothing?
I don't care.
And you
You going to
ate
bed?
some.
out of the way.
No, it's not enough.
What was that?
Can I see what
Stop
you're
getting
doing?
me. Christmas time is here.
I would have done that better.
And cheer. Fun for all. The children call. The favorite time of year. Christmas snowflakes in the air. Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas is here. We'll be drawing near. Clean air would always see Christmas time throughout the year. Yeah, baby. Enjoy the buffet. We'll be here all week.
Take the money, quit.
That's one for you and one for me, baby.
Oh, we're supposed to be serious.
Now, see, then we should have done something else. You got 2 talents for the price of one.
Is that yours? That was Ben.
That was pretty good. I think that would count.
That was
If
mine.
I knew you were gonna sing, man, I would have done the
Well,
O'Kane
All
ball.
right, who's next? Okay. I think she fell asleep.
Yeah, this is serious.
And Aubrey was her name, and not so very ordinary girl alone, but who's to blame for a life for the hearts that never learned to. Like a lovely melody that everyone can sing. Take away the words that rhyme, it doesn't mean a thing. And Aubrey was her name. We tripped the light and danced together to the moon. But when was June? No regret came around. If it did, it never made a sound. Maybe I was absent or was listening too fast, catching all the words, but then the meaning going past. God, I miss the girl, and I go 1,000 times around the world just to be closer to her than to me. And Aubrey was her name. I never knew her, but I loved her just the same. I loved her name. Wish that I had found a way, and the reasons that would make her stay. I have learned to lead life apart from all the rest. I can't have the one I want, I'll do without the best. How I miss the girl, and I go 1,000,000 times around the world just to say she had been mine for a day.
I figured out Ben and Monique's children, what color eyes they're going to have and what hair. So I did a little genetic Punnett square. Ben and Monique each have one parent that has blue eyes. That means they are hybrid brown eyes, which hence big B, little b. And each one of them has one parent who has straight hair and one has curly, so they're hybrid curly. So, which is big C, little c. So if you do out all the combinations, then 25% chance that their kids will have blue eyes, and 25%
Black and brown eyes and
Yeah.
straight hair.
and 25% straight. But the majority is brown eyes and curly hair.
Brown eyes, curly hair.
Brown eyes and curly hair.
When all the other ones are blonde and blue-eyed, ours are gonna be left out. They're gonna be the.
We're the outcasts, yeah, exactly. Like I've been all my life.
I am there too.
Say, are you guys adopted?
I want to see ours. I
Oh,
thought,
a stool. You don't have
Everybody can
Just a minute. Just a minute. I ate a plum.
a what?
You said you needed a stool.
Oh, there's a pie.
Yeah, all right. That's not my talent. Okay, it's not my talent.
sit on a chair.
I'll stand up, but I need a high chair, a stool. This will be okay.
Here's one right here.
Is
Are
that
you
higher
serious?
than a chair?
Yeah.
Because it's long, I have to sit down. What? Is this
we both thought it was the same thing.
What, Dawn? I might get Dawn. There's
No.
poetry.
Oh,
The
yeah, she
beatnik
does want to
poetry
know.
places.
Yeah. Okay. To, the letter, yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. Well, this is kind of a reverse thing, and I stole it from Dad because he was going to do it. But
It's not bad enough. It's a reading. It's a stolen reading.
okay, Matt, you did your count. Yes, Virginia, there is a Jesus. It is truly heartwarming to know that millions of people around the world believe in Santa. Sure, most are under 4 feet tall, but still it's amazing that so many believe in the big guy in the red suit. Consider the following. Around the globe today live approximately 2 billion children, persons under 18. Santa doesn't visit all of them, of course. Subtracting the number of Muslim, Hindu, Jewish, or Buddhist children reduces Santa's Christmas Eve workload to 15% of the total, or 378 million children, according to the Population Records Bureau. At an average census rate of 3.5 children per household, and presuming that there is at least one good child in each home, Santa must visit about 108 million homes. Santa has about 31 hours of Christmas to work with, thanks to the different time zones and the rotation of the Earth. Assuming he travels east to west, which seems logical, this works out to 967.7 visits per second. That means that at each household with a good child, Santa has around 1/1000th of a second to park the sleigh, hop out, jump down the chimney, fill the stockings, distribute the remaining presents under the tree, eat whatever snacks have been left for him, and get back up the chimney, jump into the sleigh, and get on to the next house. For the purpose of our calculation, we will assume that each of these 108 million stops is evenly distributed around the Earth, which of course we know to be false. We're talking about a trip of 0.78 miles per household, a total trip of 75.5 million miles, not counting bathroom stops or breaks. To cover that ground in 31 hours, Santa's sleigh moves at 650 miles per second, 3,000 times the speed of sound. By comparison, the fastest man-made vehicle, the Ulysses space probe, moves at a pokey 27.4 miles per second, and a conventional reindeer can run at best 15 miles per hour. The payload of the sleigh adds another interesting element. Assuming that each child gets nothing more than a medium-sized logo set, which is 2 pounds, the sleigh must carry over 5,000 tons, not counting Santa himself. On land, a conventional reindeer can pull no more than 300 pounds. In air, even granting that the flying reindeer could pull 10 times the normal amount, the job can't be done with a mere 8 or 9 of them. Santa would need 360,000 of them. This increases the payload, not counting the weight of the sleigh, another 54,000 tons, or roughly 7 times the weight of the Queen Elizabeth. The ship, not the monarch. 6,000 tons, traveling at 650 miles per second, creates enormous air resistance. This would heat up the reindeer in the same fashion as a spacecraft re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. The lead pair of reindeer would absorb 14.3 quintillion joules of energy per second each. In short, they would burst into flames almost instantaneously, exposing the reindeer behind them and creating deafening sonic booms in their wake. The entire reindeer team would be vaporized within 4.26 thousandths of a second, or right about the time Santa reached the 5th house on his trip. Not that it matters. However, since Santa, as a result of accelerating from a dead stop to 650 miles per second in 1,000th of a second, would be subjected to centrifugal forces of 17,500 Gs. A 250-pound Santa, which seems ludicrously slim, would be pinned to the back of the sleigh by 4,315,015 pounds of force, instantly crushing his bones and organs and reducing him to a quivering blob of paint goo. Considering all this, it's amazing that some children, and even a few adults, have no problem believing in Santa. By comparison, the story of the little baby in the manger is relatively easy to believe. The life of Jesus Christ is a fact, recorded not only by biblical writers, but by secular historians as well. I'm going to skip down. They consider him nothing more than a myth, but for those willing to believe with childlike faith, Jesus promises an inheritance of the kingdom of God. How do you spell Bailey?
B-A-I-L-A-L-E-Y.
What's 2 plus 2?
4.
What's 2 times 2?
Bobby.
I'm done.
That was her talent.
No, I've been helping her learn this stuff.
Just do at different times through the river.
Yeah, just turn it on.
Sorry.
There you go.
This is the gastronomical bean story. Once upon a time, not too long ago, and in a land not too far away, there lived a fine man named Facilis, who just loved freshly baked beans. He ate freshly baked beans for breakfast, he ate freshly baked beans for lunch, he ate freshly baked beans for dinner. You've turned it up.
Yeah, is that picking up this time?
He even ate freshly baked beans for in-between meal snacks. Of course, as we all know, beans have a lively after effect, and Facilis was no stranger to that sad fact of life. However, he was a bachelor and lived alone, so there was no one to offend. He simply kept all windows open and a ceiling fan in constant rotation to ensure an ever-present quantity of fresh air. And of course, he was a strong believer in the use of air fresheners. One splendid day, Facilis went to a party not too far from his house. He had heard the featured victuals would include freshly baked beans, so of course he had to go have some of his favorite treat. Also attending the party that night was Dolichos, the fairest woman of the village. Facilis admired her from afar, but thought her to be much too refined and beautiful for him to even hope for a dance with. Besides, she did not like beans, being a lady of delicate constitution and sensibility, and never ate them. She had just accompanied her aging father, who wanted to come along and watch the festivities. Oh, it was a wonderful party. There was music, dancing, beautiful women and handsome men, and of course lots of freshly baked beans. And Facilis certainly ate his fill. As the hour grew late and the party was drawing to close, fate found Facilis leaving at the same time as Dolichos. They met at the door. They glanced into one another's eyes, and in an instant both realized that a mystical union had been made. Facilis swept Dolichos up into his arms and exclaimed, "You are the most beautiful, sensuous woman in the world. Say you'll marry me or I shall surely die." Dolichos, overcome and in a swoon with her own swelling of love for Facilis, sighed, "Oh, I shan't have you die. I shall be your wife." They were married shortly after. Facilis and Dolichos built a little cottage in the village and settled down together. During the day, Facilis would ride his donkey cart off to the great woodworking mill in town of Leguminous, just over the hill, while Dolichos stayed home and kept house. The season came and went, and with each passing year, their love for one another grew and grew. However, Facilis' love for freshly baked beans did not diminish, and in fact, scarcely a day passed that he did not yearn for a big bowlful. However, he also deeply loved his fair Dolichos, and vowed never to do anything to offend or repel her. He had made the ultimate sacrifice. He had given up freshly baked beans forever. Facilos and Dolichos led a quiet, simple life. They rarely had visitors, although they made friends with other good folk who lived in their village. They would all get together occasionally for celebrations and parties. Oftentimes at these parties, Facilis would sit quietly and think back to that most wonderful of parties when he met his beloved Dolichos, and when he had eaten his last bowl of freshly baked beans. I lost my page.
Oh, I was going to say, is that the end? Song.
Did not yearn for a big... Where was I?
Okay, this isn't a very good talent, no.
It's
Okay.
that big bowl of freshly baked beans.
One day, as Facilis was headed home after a long and hard day at work, his faithful donkey slipped on a stone and fell, breaking its leg. Facilis was, of course, broken-hearted, but he did not want his beast to suffer in pain. With heavy heart, he took out his rifle and put the poor donkey out of its misery. He gathered up his knapsack and belongings from the cart and sadly started his trek home. As he trudged along the winding dirt road up the hill to the village, he came upon a little house with a cafe in front. A familiar, lovely scent filled his nostrils as he approached the cafe. Sure enough, there was a sign up front, "Today's special, freshly baked beans." Poor Facilis was faced with a real dilemma. How badly he yearned for a large steaming bowl of freshly baked beans, yet he also realized he could never return home and inflict the side effects of his passion onto his lovely and fair Dolichos. Facilis stood in the doorway of the cafe, wavering. Finally, his lust for freshly baked beans won out. He decided the walk home would be long enough for him to work off any ill side effects before he arrived there. So down he sat, and before he left, he had finished off 3 large piping hot bowls of freshly baked beans. All the way home, Facilis put-putted with all his might. These particular beans were very lively, and he was having quite a time. He was more than a little concerned when he arrived at his cottage and realized he was still full of gas. What would he do? Dolichos greeted Facilis at the door, of course, very anxious and agitated over his late arrival. "My darling, I'm so glad you're home. What happened?" Facilis explained his plight. Dolichos' eyes filled with tears as he told of the poor donkey. Of course, he omitted having had his little snack on the way home. Dolichos gave him a hug and took his broad, rough hands into her fair, dainty hands. She looked lovingly into his eyes and asked, "Surely you didn't forget what today is?" Her spirits fell as she saw questioning in his eyes. Then he smacked himself on the head and groaned, "Oh, my fair love, how could I forget our anniversary?" She smiled somewhat sadly, but said, "I forgive you. One of us didn't forget. I have a little surprise for you. Wait here." She scurried off into the cottage with a giggle and returned with the blindfold. "Here, darling, put this over your eyes." They laughed together as Dolichos slipped the blindfold down over Facilis' head. She took him by the hand and led him inside. She helped him take his seat at the dining room table. "Are you ready?" she asked excitedly. Just as Dolichos was about to slip the blindfold off Vasilis' head, there was a knock at the back door. "Oh, who could that be?" Dolichos exclaimed. "Dear Vasilis, you must promise not to remove the blindfold until I return." Of course, he assured her he would. She hurried off into the kitchen and answered the door. It was Madame Vigna, the old but sweet hag who lived next door and who had a penchant for gossip. Sure enough, she had plenty of questions about Vasilis' late arrival which had not escaped her attention. As Dolichos patiently and kindly retold the whole sad story to Vigna, Vasilis took advantage of the opportunity as he felt the urge to release a large buildup of gas. He lifted one leg and let go. It was not only loud as a lion's roar, but also as ripe as rotten eggs. He frantically fanned the air around his lap with the napkin and settled down in his seat again. Once again comfortable, if only temporarily. Before much time passed, he felt the urge again. He lifted the other leg and blasted forth once more. This one was even louder and riper than the last one. This gaseous activity went on for quite some minutes as Madame Vigna and our sweet Dolichos continued their chat. Vasilis let go time and time again, each time waving the air with his large cloth napkin and fretting to himself about the awful predicament he had gotten himself into. He loudly cursed, "Darn those beans, I shall never eat another mouthful." Another thunderous report from his steaming breeches blasted forth as if to underscore his pledge. The fuming stench from his mighty release was nearly more than he could bear. His eyes began watering under the blindfold. Coughing and sneezing, he stood up and shook first one leg and then the other, as if to wriggle free the remaining trapped gas that was assaulting his already overtaxed nostrils. Finally, Vasilis heard the chattering ladies bid their farewells. He knew his freedom was over. He settled back in his chair, folded his hands over his lap, and was the picture of innocence when Dolichos returned to the table. "Oh, my love, I am so sorry I kept you waiting. Madame Vigna was just full of questions. You didn't peek, did you?" Vasilis assured her that of course he had not. Dolichos stepped over and whisked the blindfold away from Vasilis' head, and there was his surprise. 12 dinner guests seated around the table for a surprise anniversary party. Take it a little loud.
It was the night before Christmas. All around my hips were Russell Stover candies that had sneaked past my lips. Fudge brownies were stored in the freezer with care in hopes that my thighs would forget they were there. While Mama in her girdle and I in my chin straps had just settled down to a sugar-born naps, when out in the pantry there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the kitchen I flew like a flash, tore open the icebox, threw open the sash. You can tell this is old. The marshmallow look of the newly fallen snow sent thoughts of a binge to my body below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a marzipan Santa with 8 chocolate reindeer. That huge chunk of candy so lusciously slick, I knew in a second I'd wind up sick. The sweet-coated Santa, those sugared reindeer, I closed my eyes tightly, but still I could hear on Pritzker, on Stillman, all week one on tops, a Weight Watcher dropout from sugar detox. From the top of the scales to the top of the hall, now dash away pounds, now dash away all. Dressed up in Lane Bryant from head to my nightdress, my clothes were all bulging from too much excess. My droll little mouth and my round little belly, they shook when I laughed like a bowl full of jelly. I spoke not a word, but straight to my work, ate all of the candy, then turned with a jerk. Laying a finger beside my heartburn, I gave a quick nod toward the bedroom I turned. I eased into bed, to the heavens I cried, if temptation's removed, I'll get thin by and by. And I mumbled again as I turned in for the night, in the morning I'll starve, till I take that first bite. That's the dieter's Christmas.
Get off the internet.
I'm gonna say something in French and I'm gonna be done. Yes, I am. Joyeux Noël, la petite enfance. Je t'aime très très beaucoup. Au revoir.
Yeah, you know what she was saying. You know what kind of stuff she was saying.
I said Merry Christmas, my little children.
Well, what's buckwheat?
Je t'aime, Trey, Bucky. I love you
Oh,
very,
okay,
very
I
much.
thought she said
She was actually saying some pretty nasty stuff.
What does Mona Me stand for?
My love.
Didn't even know.
I had to think.
We thought it was I love myself, so we're
Yeah.
pretty close.
My love.
What I mean?
It was the night before Christmas, and all through the town, not a sign of baby Jesus was anywhere to be found. The people all busy with Christmas time chores like decorating and baking and shopping in stores.
No girl.
No one sang away in a manger, no crib for a bed. Instead, they watched Santa dressed up in bright red. Mama watched Martha Stewart. Papa drank the beer from a tap. As hour upon hour the presents they'd wrap. Then what from TV did they suddenly hear? Except an ad which told of a big sale at Sears. So away to the mall, they flew like a flash, buying some things on credit and others with cash. And as they made their way home from their trip to the mall, did they think about Jesus? Oh no, not at all. Their lives were so busy with their Christmas time things, they had no time to remember Christ Jesus the King. There were presents to wrap and cookies to bake. How could they stop and remember the one who died for their sake? To pray to the Savior, they had no time to stop because they needed more time to shop till you drop. On Walmart, on Kmart, on Target, on Penny's, on Hallmark, on Zales, a quick stop at Denny's. From the big stores downtown to the stores at the mall, they would dash away and visit them all. And up on the roof there arose such a clatter as Grandpa hung icicle lights using his brand new step ladder. He hung lights that would flash, he hung lights that would twirl, and yet he never once prayed to Jesus, the light of the world. Christ's eyes, how they twinkle, Christ's spirit, how merry, Christ's love, how enormous. All of our burdens he'll carry. So instead of being busy, overworked, and uptight, let's put Christ back in Christmas and enjoy some good night.
Oh, I got a version too. Twas the night for Kwanzaa.
Start over.
That's all I know.
Well, say it
That's all we made
again.
up.
Do it again.
Give us a day or two. We can come up
Come
with
on.
something.
Twas the night for Kwanzaa, and all to the pan. Not a Negro was stirring, not even your mama.
Not even your dad.
Not even your mama.
Katie can dance. Okay.
Wait, start
Wishing
again.
you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We hope and pray for a better year, peace on earth and upon mankind. He is not behind the gate, he is at the gate. Praise the name of the Lord, what a great time we are going to have. God bless you and keep you. He is an Orthodox Jew. Now, why does he say that?
Well, see, there was this little Jewish kid.
Vandalize it.
Just moved into the neighborhood and went to school.
Is this a yoke?
And so he's sitting in class, and it's around Christmas time. And the teacher asked the class, who was the greatest man in history? Because if you can answer this question, I've got a lollipop for whoever can answer this correctly. So the first kid raises his hand. He says, George Washington. George Washington was the greatest man in history. And the teacher says, well, why is that? Because he was the father of our country, and he made our country what it is today. The teacher said, well, that's a good answer, but it's not what I'm looking for. Who's the greatest man in history? She said, he might be the greatest man in our country. Second kid raises his hand. She says, well, who's the greatest man in history? He says, Abraham Lincoln. The teacher says, well, why is that? Because he freed the slaves, and he fought the Civil War, and kept the country together. The teacher said, well, that's a good answer, but it's not what I'm looking for. He's a great man in our country, but who's the greatest man in history? Finally, the little Jewish kid raises his hand. The teacher kind of hesitates and then calls on him. She said, who's the greatest man in history? He says, Jesus Christ was the greatest man in history. And the teacher was amazed, and she said, you're right. Jesus Christ is the greatest man in history. So she gives him the lollipop. When recess, a little while later, another Jewish kid comes up to the Jewish kid that answered the question. He says, what'd you do that for? The Jewish kid goes, hey, you and I both know Moses was the greatest man in history, but business is business.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that may be.
Does it
That's what I
smell?
was gonna say, we need to have numbers.
Like little kitty feet?
Oh, which
Yeah,
one are we
I'm
doing?
gonna go to the bathroom.
What do you want to do first? The gag? I don't know. Which one do you
There
want?
you go.
Because I gotta go get my stuff.
What are you doing? What are you
What do you
saying?
have to put that on for?
Let's do the funny one first. Funny gag.
I love it when she does that.
Funny gag.
Our funny gifts are out here. They're the little ones.
Yes.
Okay.
How many
That
should
one.
we do? I'll be.
Ooh, a great a diaper.
Because I'll be that included. Okay.
I love when she does this. It's so funny. Something to sit down.
Yeah. She's always like,
So the other day, we were at the gym, and we came down, and she took my sweatshirt out of my lap, dropped it, and then sat down. I was like, hey, that's my spot.
this is the funny one.
What are you doing?
I have to make them.
Mom, this is a funny one too. Isn't it?
Hey, Luke. Hey, Lucas.
Regular.
Yeah.
These are the funny ones.
Oh, oops. Look, trip your own daughter. Yeah. Doesn't take much. Oh, she wants to. Nope.
No, she saw the pen and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'll get that. I like how Mom wraps. Not even get the end of it. Hey, I'm going with steaks. The beef tip sirloin steaks. Yeah, you should. They've been sitting out all day.
Have enough?
Yes,
What? I got one. It's in the fridge. I put some more in it. I don't know. Hey, Katie. You want to sit with me? You want to sit with Uncle Ben?
We have something to stick this in.
No. Katie's shoe.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Get one, yeah, there you go.
She brought out 4. Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing, Katie? No.
Oh, are they? You want one for you?
Here.
Was there one for Aubrey?
Not in this one.
Okay, there is now. Here, yeah.
Oh, Kula. Here.
Put Aubrey's name in. I had an extra one.
Good.
I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with it.
Oh.
Need more.
It's only 7.
Sure.
Where's that?
Okay, everyone's clear. This is the joke round.
There's not enough?
We don't want anyone to end up with a gift certificate
I'll make
in this
put 9.
in this round.
Unless it's like a gift certificate to a...
I want to stay.
Dollar store.
Here.
Is there supposed to be 9 presents?
What's this?
It's our
Oh.
reason now.
Oh.
I mean,
All right, here. Let's take pass it.
Are they numbered? Or is that the number you go?
Oh, we just go in that order? Pick a number, any number.
Then you get to pick the
Turn
song.
the ones up.
Yeah.
And open it.
And by the way, Ben and I's gay gifts we need back.
Yeah, we got another one going on next week.
Oh my
Take
God.
what you win and
You
put it
take what
back
you
where it
If
is.
you want it,
If
you're welcome to have it.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
We brought some pretty good stuff then.
I
Yeah.
know. Not even sure what
You know what got me though was in Rhode Island, I thought we were having a white elephant gift
Funny
exchange,
one,
which
yeah.
I thought was a funny one. That's when we brought that diaper. And
Yeah.
then everybody passed around this good stuff.
Well, some of it wasn't that great.
Yeah, with.
Okay,
yeah.
who's got
Yeah, it
number
wasn't
1?
a wet diaper.
Okay, who's got one?
I have one.
Really, you know, what?
Who's number
Yeah.
1?
Who number 1? Who number 1?
We can keep these numbers and put it back in the thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Where's the thing? Pass it around again.
Yeah, it's when we get
Oh, you do it again?
for
Yeah,
the,
good gift.
for the big gift.
Good gift.
Mine was stuck closed.
Yeah, I think that one.
Dad's confused. Don't worry about it. We'll tell you what to do.
We'll tell you
as we go.
Right. Should we keep tabs on
Is that, did we put who they're from? Is that ours? Oh, that's the ornament.
Oh, you get an ornament.
It's a dust bunny.
Monique made that.
Cool. That is
Out of dryer
cool.
land.
Yeah.
like
I
it?
feel like that is cool.
The doors.
Oh, you shut it? Okay.
There's some hair in it.
Well, that's probably cat hair. Who's the
No,
next
that's
one?
Lily's hair.
Better than another favorite one to like it.
Who's number 2?
Okay, I'm number 2. So I know what those two are.
Hey, it was what was lying around and cheap. And I'm doing laundry, so.
Chris is like, oh, that's funny. I didn't even know what it was. Well, no, I changed my mind.
Oh, just rip it apart.
Well, then you still got to me, right?
Who wrapped it
That is good. I like that.
That's how.
I would gladly give it back.
Oh, I thought you liked it.
Oh, that could be an ornament.
Looks like a somewhat crazy snowman.
You spray your hairspray
Throw
so
that
it
in.
holds a storm.
What is it?
You got a yellow hero! Who should have gotten that?
Who put that in there? I have one just like that.
I was gonna put it in the garage sale.
Oh! Does it work?
I don't know.
Can I?
Yes, it does.
Does it?
I don't know.
Well, there's no.
Well, we have 3 cameras, never got a digital one, so we don't know.
I don't know if it works.
Where was this at?
Well, there's no.
She just wanted to run away.
Oh, that was out in my bottom
She
jaw.
came in and gave it right away.
That's me.
Number 3.
Great. Did you put your number in there? I was gonna move that one.
You got this. Hey, cheese. You take a picture of Papa? Take a picture of Papa.
Where is he?
There he is. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Hey! Katie, look!
Thank you. She's coming out with all kinds of stuff.
Christmas, I could get it.
6-course meal.
Yeah, I'm number 4. Where's
Number
the thing?
4.
Well, tell them what's in there.
Oh, it's a dinner. It's peach cobbler for dessert, green beans as a side, and beef as a dinner. And 2 candles.
You gotta scratch grandma's
Yeah.
wool.
It's a candlelit beef dinner.
Candlelight dinner for 2.
You thought it was steak.
He thought there was a
Fine. I'll go for this one.
Afterwards, I thought that would have been a bad gift, you know?
Depending on who does it.
Sweet life force stuff.
Ben, I'm making a guarantee that Ben will keep this.
Ben will like it. Yeah, well, I.
When do you trade it? You want, if you want,
Yeah.
open it or?
You're giving away your guitar.
The stand is in there too.
I remember what he
I
said.
think that's appropriate. That's appropriate. Hey, bonk.
Ow.
Can you play it right
We
now?
don't have anything to give away, son, like that.
You don't?
I didn't wait out for this. Thanks, guys.
Where did you get that? Who did this?
I don't even remember where I got it.
Oh, don't put that
Oh,
in there.
Stacy got it for me as a joke gift. So I said I wanted a guitar. And I said,
I wanted a guitar too for Christmas.
there you go.
What are you doing?
Yeah, Monique, you don't wrap that up. You gotta put it on the stand.
She's a woman. She understands.
You wrap an amp cord, yeah. There you go. You can take that to practice now.
So, do you know what you trade? Is it before you open your gift? Or
Yeah, you take something someone else has, or
before you
open
open
a file.
Hey, Nadia.
Can't find
I
it.
know. We didn't know what to do with it. We didn't know how to play it.
But it has